Hey fellow Marks Dwarves, Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Dwarf Fortress. Episode 13, Preparing for Sieges by Training Up Squads. Before I start this stream, there is something that is important to cover. So let's get at it. It would be the release notes for Siege. The Siege patch has released back on Monday. What it adds, as you can see here, is the ability for enemies to besiege you. They will build stairs and floors to get into your bases, break down constructions and block buildings, bring battering rams to bash constructions and buildings and bridges, dig through natural walls. So you can't just like turtle up, although they dig very slowly. They will actively try to avoid traps once trapped and untrap the things that are trapped, so long trap corridors don't work as well anymore. Their army composition will be more varied. They can have more skill and better equipment. Flying invaders on flying mounts, so on and so forth. And then, on the flip side, to help out us dwarves, the defense upgrades. So there's a new bolt thrower siege engine. Previously, there was the ballista and catapult, but the bolt thrower is like a high rate of fire bolt shooter for, spraying out bolts like I don't know, a machine gun or something. Catapults and ballistas are better, and the people that use them try to stay with them longer so that they don't like abandon their like siege position. Boulders can be thrown by catapults and explode on impact, ejecting sharp rock shards. You can have reinforced walls made with 2 building materials and 1 metal type. So you can have stronger walls, which we might want to incorporate at some point. The materials of constructions and buildings matter more than the damage amount for damage amount. So like stronger materials offer stronger walls. You know, one would assume steel walls is better than copper walls. I haven't tested this myself, but I'm going to make that assumption. Siege operators aren't as quick to abandon their positions, like I just said. And when you're doing a patrol, the patrols are more careful about being exact about where they patrol so you can spot early. Additionally, there is the general fixes. See the third one down there? Yeah. Fix for archery training so that they can use unquivered ammo stats properly. It was a bug. Yep, it was a bug. My archery range was designed perfectly. The game was bugged, and it wasn't working because of a bug. So it wasn't me, it wasn't my designs. The TLDR is essentially a full stack ammo made archery training break. So if I made bolts out of like, let's say bone, where you don't get a full stack, it would have worked. But like, I wasn't using bone, so whatever. I mean, I'm glad it's fixed. And then some other optimizations and fixes as well. So there's the update. As you can see above my head, the first thing that we're going to work on is to start to train up a bit of a military. Now that the archery range actually works, I'd like to put it to good use. So let's open up our squad again. And we've got 1 Marks Dwarf, right? And what I want to do is I want to add to the squad because we just had a massive growth explosion. And I actually haven't really played the siege updates, so I don't really know when they'll come, but I want to be ready. And I know a population 36 is really small, and we're not very wealthy, so likely when we get attacked, it's not going to be by a lot of things, but, like, still, better ready than not ready, right? Squad. We have Outlaw Million, and I'm going to put them on training once I add a few more people. So I'm going to say, like, let's say, how many crossbows do we have now? We have 2 more. So I'll start with 2 more bow dwarves, and then probably the best way to do this is to go to labor and figure out who is a good hunter. So Geshud, and I'm gonna leave Kish out of it though, because I believe Kish is our legendary weaponsmith as a result of being named. So maybe what I'll do is Geshud and Coddle and Bemble and Cyril. I don't have that many crossbows, but like we'll work on it. So Geshud. Oh, that was weird. Assign position 2. There we go. Cyril, Coddle, Bemble. So we have 5 bow dwarves, Marks dwarves. And we're going to obviously need to get them the proper equipment. Oh, hold on. I'm going to go back to the no overlay and hide these things. Okay, there we go. All right. So we're going to get them the proper equipment here and set them to training. So if I click this and schedule them and do Mark's training, I am going to set up more training stack 1 a whole bunch. So now we have 5 train at least 1 so that each Mark's dwarf in this squad can train. The other thing I'd like to do is to start making arms and armor, because I don't just want Mark's dwarves. I don't want to assume that my fortifications are going to hold or that they're not going to breach my bridges. I'm going to need axe dwarves too, or hammer dwarves, or whatever melee weapon they're going to have. All right. But what we should see here, if I go to equip, update equipment, I should see pretty quickly that they start firing at the range once they have their assigned equipment. Now, did someone, like... Hold your liquor, guys. Alright, another thing that would be wise for me to do is to actually get the barracks worthy of a squad. Because, well, this one isn't. So... Wait, oh, yes, every time. Bed, keep after placement. And I don't believe I have enough cabinets. No. So we're gonna need to make some of them. I was making it out of shale? Yeah. I'm just gonna do it like this, because it's kind of a one-off. Eventually I might have a bill for it. Alright, come on, dwarves. As far as equipment goes, Outlet Million should be able to fire now. And maybe what I'll do is I'll stalk her until I see it happen. I did test this off screen, and the archer range does work fine. I had confirmed it. So I just need to have them actually go to the range and see it for myself. Alright, there's a lot of other tasks to do. Another one is to actually get like a weaponsmith and an armorsmith functionally going. And that way we'll be able to defend our bridges. And I'm just gonna stalk Outlet Million because I don't want to assume that they're training. Oh no, here they go. Yep, that's what training looks like right there. Geshid is firing bolts at the archer target. The bolts that miss fall to the ground and can be fetched. So let's change the standing order now. Standing order. And, forbid used ammunition during sieges. Because this ammo is perfectly good, and I want it to, I want to reuse it. Oh, look at them. There they go. Alright. Right now, we're being petitioned by a lot of people to eradicate monsters in our underground. But I don't yet have a tavern, and I don't have an inn. I don't have a way to care for visitors, which is why I've been saying no to that. So, archer range, awesome. Train with bad bolts only? I could. I mean, the thing is I have a lot of iron. If I wanted to train with bad bolts, I'd need to, like, specially make bad bolts, which, to some degree or another, is just, like, more effort. Normally, what you would do is you would use wood bolts, but, like, I don't have a lot of wood. I don't have a lot of woods above me on the surface, right? There's a pretty finite amount of trees up here, And you can't plant trees, you just have to wait for them to regrow. So unless I'm buying bulk wood from like a trader, it doesn't really make sense to make wood bolts. And then I'm not doing a lot of hunting. There's not a lot of stuff worth hunting on this tile. You know, like right now there's like a kiwi and a badger, right? That's not a lot of bones to make out of bone bolts. So I'm just going to go with iron because we do have a lot of iron. But it does look like my squads are working. So I'm going to change their schedule to staggered training. And I am not 100% sure that, well, let's view their monthly schedule. Staggered training has them off for 3, on for 3. And currently they're on. And it looks like I am going to need to change the staggered training order. This is going to be Mark's training. Copy, paste, paste. Paste, paste, paste. And that way, they're not on duty all the time. This is for mood. Maybe I'll do 1 on, 1 off, 1 on, 1 off. Something like that. Alright, edit. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. Monthly schedule. So... Mark's training, copy, paste, paste. Okay. There. So they're set on staggered training, and that way they're not going to be like working all the time. All right, what is going over here? A whole bunch of people became recruits. Yep. Okay. And this squad did not get... Ooh. I hit that button. Why? Why did I hit that button? Right, let's try this again, because I was trying to hide the squad menu and I deleted my squad instead. Good job, me. Alright. Positions. Yeshid, Cattle, Bemble, Cyril. And eventually they'll be skilled enough that, like, they will stand out. Alright, let's give them red and black with a arrow. The crazed cudgels. Equipment. Sign uniform, marks dwarves. And that will update again. Okay, schedule. And then their name. Shouldn't be that easy to just, like, nuke a squad. But whatever. Done. Now close it. Or actually, before I close that, I want to see them, yeah, okay, they're equipping. Perfect. Close. Nice. Okay. Back to preparing a squad. So the next thing I wanted to do is to fire up the metalsmith for armor. And that's so that we can... And probably weapons first. And that's so that we can get decent weapons and armor for a melee group. The first thing I want to do is add a new work detail. And this is going to be called the weaponsmith. What are these other details? These other details are just... I don't know? They're not ordered to do anything. Okay. I'm going to delete them because clearly I made them and didn't need them. This is going to be for weaponsmith. And would, the weaponsmith is gonna do, I bet you can guess, weaponsmithing. Done. And only the weaponsmith will do weapons. Now, it does make sense to have like a backup weaponsmith in the case that your primary weaponsmith dies or whatever. But for now, yeah, I really only want my legendary weaponsmith making weapons. And then likewise, let's do another custom work detail. And this one will be called Armorsmith. And do we have anyone that's decent at armorsmithing? I guess we'll find out in a moment. So armory. Done. And it does not look like I have any good armorers. So guess what? Daten, you're gonna be our armorer. I'm just picking you at random, one of the peasants. You might as well pick someone that doesn't actually have a profession to, you know, to do that stuff. Alright. Next up is the work orders. First thing I want to make on the Metalsmith Forge. Ooh, you know, well, no, we already have steel, right? So I'm going to do axes or maces. Axes or maces. I'm going to do axes at first. This is the subset of steel, right? Yeah, these are all the steel things. So there's a steel mace. Forged steel battle axe. Make one. When battle axes are less than, let's say, 5, bars are greater than 10, and refined coal is greater than 10. Bars are greater than 5, coal is greater than 10. Alright. That's battle axe. I don't know if I want to spend the time to go through, because right now the bottleneck really is steel, so like setting up all of the armor pieces might be kind of worthless because I'm not going to have them all. So I'm trying to think of whether it's even worth it, because as long as they have axes, they can start training. They don't actually functionally need the armor. And with that said, I also need armor for my Marks Dwarves too. Yeah, so it's food for thought. So we'll just start with the battle axe for now. And then, once I have the initial weapons, I'll put together a squad to use them. Is there a queue for crossbows? Yep, there already is. Made that last week. So here's the steel battle axe, and then the steel crossbows right there. Iron bolts, so on and so forth. Right, what I'd like, I think staggered training. Oh, alright. Their staggered training is screwed up again. Okay. I am sure I am to blame, but let's do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is going to be Marks training. Done editing. I'm going to copy the off-duty and paste it everywhere. And then copy the Marks training and paste it every other. And then I'm gonna remember not to like delete the order. Alright, and then for this month, it is Malachite, so they should be training. Basically, after having accidentally nuked the scheduling, I'd like to see them at the range doing training, because I need them skilled. And I don't see that. The other thing is the equipment. They're missing bolts? Okay, now I see one collecting bolts. Where you going with them bolts? A la million, where you going with that? It is still malachite. Oh, I also just had a bunch of immigrants. Gah! I can't handle how many people are showing up. Oh, okay. Well, I'll check on that in a bit because we just had, 5 more people show up? So these 2 bedrooms are free. I'm gonna need to put some bedrooms in, aren't I? Furniture. Beds. Willow. Almond. 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 One of the problem of having a lot of booze is everyone knows it. And they're like, hey, these guys have booze. So let's go raid their booze supply. Okay, bedrooms. And just like last time, I'm going to do the sort of... Oh, God. Why is there so many... Wait. I was at 36. No, I got a lot more people. Sorry. I thought it was at 39. So we have a miner, boyer, furnace operator, jeweler, crafts dwarf, clothier, cheesemaker. Okay, let's do the clothier first. Sibrek. And I'm just like inspecting them to make sure that they seem to be on the up and up. So skills, clothing. Oh, they're a weaponsmith too. No combat, lots of social skills. 82 years old. Yeah, they seem legit. We're also going to need to dig out additional quarters because the game deigned a whole bunch of immigrants on me. Well, I mean, I wanted to spin up my military. I figured, you know, now's as good a time as any. I have 2 legendary miners and a master miner, and yeah, okay, they're just required to mine. Perfect. All right, next bedroom. If I could paint a square. Oh my god, that was terrible. Let's do the jeweler. Zephin. I wish you could just like click their portrait and pick their name up that way. All right, you're 78. You're a talented setter and cutter. Siege engineer. Oh, that will be interesting. Decent haggler, negotiator, etc. Got it. In terms of labor, I am going to allow them also to... They're going to be my other jeweler. So we'll have 2 jewelers. I think it's probably a good idea for me to have like 2 of a lot of the key industries. Because if one dies or gets abducted or is evil or I don't know, whatever, it helps. So I've got a raffle timer up for Zephin. And yeah, good luck in the raffle. And we'll just have to wait for the other bedrooms to get built. But our dedicated miners are clearing the way. The barracks will take the dwarves, but I don't want them not to have a bedroom. So I know that the barracks will allow for my my military to sleep here. But currently, if I'm not mistaken, they're sleeping at wherever they want. That was their last order, if I'm not mistaken. So if I go to the squads here, and where is that? Is that in the standing orders? I forget what menu that is for the military to... Oh, no, that's in the zoning menu. So yeah, in the Marksdwarf's barracks, you can set what it's used for. So this one is going to be used for store individual weapons and armor and ammunition. I don't want them training in there because I want them at their archery range. And then I can toggle them to sleep here, but I haven't actually done that. Maybe once I think there's a greater chance of actually having like a breach or incursion, I'll have them sleep there. But they're also not really the ones that I would want responding to people coming in from the surface anyway, because they're march dwarves. I would want my axe dwarves or mace dwarves doing that. Alright, new bedroom. This one is going to the cheesemaker. Almost. Where are you, almost? Apparently, oh, there you are. 75. Yeah, pretty much what you'd expect from a cheesemaker. Alright, F5 is my bedrooms, got it. And it looks like we have 3 more bedrooms all set. This one will go to the crafts dwarf. I don't have a dedicated crafts dwarf. I haven't been making dwarf crafts for profit, where quality would matter. They've mostly been making mugs where like quality really doesn't matter. But I might want a dedicated crafts dwarf at some point. They're a high master glazer. So if I had pottery stuff, I guess that would be, and then they're also a bookbinder. Not that I have that. Competent liar, competent flatterer. Dancer. Cool. They seem fine. Alright, next up, the furnace operator. But there is not really a useful job. And they don't really have any skills. They can dance and play wind instruments. It actually might not be a terrible idea to make a wind instrument and have them be working in a tavern once I have a tavern up. But I digress, let's keep going. And let's do the miner and the 2 boyars, because, you know, they do knifier things. I'm almost like of a mind to like kick the boyars out. Ast Samem. You. Talented miner, talented comedian, armor user. They could be a good fighter. They're pretty skilled in combat. You know, they're pretty decent. So that might be a good axe dwarf. Granted, he's better with a sword, but like he'll retrain, whatever. It's good to know that one of the people actually had like a useful martial skill. Oh, we have a guild. The Oaking Company, a farmers guild, has been established. So soon there will be petitions for me to build guild chapter halls. That's part of the growing pains of There's some pickup issues with Geshid. Oh, yes, this is probably my fault. I think Geshid was... I don't know. Geshid was not assigned to be a miner. So I'm not really sure why Geshid's having pickup problems. But, Nep, you are now the new jeweler. Nep 91, the short-sighted. Or the shot-roared. Alright, are they using the archer range? I haven't actually seen them functionally use it yet. It's still malachite. Oh no, there's some bolts on the ground. I think they used it. I just missed it. The other thing I'll check is the standing labors for... hunter ammo? Okay, so hunters have no ammo. Good. So I know that that isn't it. Squad. You have a quiver and bolts. And a crossbow. Why you ain't shooting? You know, it's one of the badger sows that picked a fight with my dogs and is now wandering around my fortress. Alright, let's see. Looks to me like the other bedrooms are just about ready, so let's get them doors. No more immigrants showed up. It was just those initial 8. And we'll finish this up. Do the immigration control, which you might feel is unnecessary, but like sometimes you'll find like glaring, obvious issues with the people that come and immigrate, and it's really helpful to know that before they cause problems. To isolate them or something. So yeah, it might be paranoia, but like I've seen a great many fortresses fall because they failed to identify like werewolves or vampires or whatever. Cheers. How long are you gonna take to smooth, dude? Okay, last 2 bedrooms. Endok. Okay. Stonecutter, teacher. Swimmer, got it. They looked fine. And Fika. He sucks at making bows, but he's much better at talking his craft up. Got it. Poet, dancer. Okay. I think it would probably help for me, and I'm sure I don't have the beds. Oh no, I do have the beds. I was gonna say to put the beds down ahead of time and just like get ahead of the demand for new bedrooms. Because I suspect pop surges in the future. Unless I like artificially constrict immigration control, which like maybe I will at some point, but not yet. All right, how are we doing on wood stocks after all of that? We're still okay. I just want to keep an eye on it to make sure that we don't run out of wood because it would bottleneck a lot of things. What are you doing in there? That's like truly not your bedroom. I think in this immigration wave there was not any children, correct? No, I don't think we had any additional children. And I didn't really see any couples. No one was sharing a bedroom or anything like that. So they might have significant other ones, but they're just not present on the map tile. It's fine. Weapons. Did we make any? I'm a little impatient. So we've got 5 steel battle axes. Oh, that was quick. Let's go with 6 though, because if you'll need a sparring partner, right? So we might as well have an even number of axe dwarves or of any melee. So labor, standing orders, no, work orders rather. You make at least 6. Cave crocodile. And I'm like not entirely certain these guys are actually training. I mean, that looks correct. Mark's training. Train at least 1. Oh. Yeah. Okay, I screwed up. Again. Copy, paste. God, it's so... I mean, at least it functionally works, but there's so many, like, just ridiculous steps. Alright, so now if we edit this, they're set to train now. That was the one thing I forgot to do. So we definitely should see them go into the archery range. Because I really can't think of another step to that I had missed. A masterwork battle axe. Sweet. Alright, so the battle axes are done. For that, I am going to excavate another barracks. So we can have the Axe Dwarfs barracks, and then I think they'll probably do some privacy, some doors, although I have like one door. Come on. Mark's Dwarves. Like, seriously, let's go. I really, so here's what it looks like. You're set to train at least one. Mark's training. Oh, you know, I know what it is. Oh, God, there's always more steps. Because I accidentally deleted the squad, I didn't really assign them to the archery range. Oh my God. Okay, we're done. I think we're done. I think that was the last step. I'm gonna straight up lose my mind. I can't think of anything else. So the squad is assigned to the range. The squad is routine triggered staggered training, and they're set to train. Okay, I think we're good. I think we should see them attend soon. So there were some other things I wanted to do, is to make sure that like all the March Dwarves have, and it's rather pointless because like I'm not having them sleep here, but have equipment there. And I'll even set up another bed, because maybe what I'll do is have 6 and 6 for even numbers. The other thing to work on is a standing or a work order for the cabinets. So before I do that, how many shale coffers was I set to make? 5? Okay. So let's do cabinets too. So that would be stone, worker. Cheers. Rock cabinet. Make 1 out of shale. Do if you have less than 5, but only if we have a shale. Oh, shale, yeah. And it looks like we have a bunch of kaolinite or clay stuff over there on the other one. Let's get in the other barracks. And the other barracks doesn't need an archery range because they're not going to be archers. So that's rather unnecessary. I still don't see them training. I'm gonna have them... I'm gonna tell them to train, like, constantly. Because they're not particularly skilled yet, anyway. So it might stress them out, but, like, I don't care. We'll call that constant archery. Do it! Do they all have their crossbows? Only 2 of them do. Mostly because I don't think I have any spares yet. I haven't made them. Oh no, there's... Oh, no, we're holding those. Let's double check on the bill to see if there's a hang up. There might just be a hang up with us not having enough steel yet. I think that's likely the case. So here's the crossbow bill. Steel bars greater than, let's say, 5, but still, it's a bottleneck of steel. It might make sense for us to have a required smelter. So the other thing to look at here is in the work orders, are we getting enough pig iron bars? So if we take a look at our bars here, 26 iron bars, 18 silver, 80 copper, 5 steel, 10 pig iron bars. So we have the pig iron bars, the coke, and the iron bars. So we have all the reagents to make steel. So I think we might want a new work detail of smelter. So that someone just like smelts constantly. So it's not bottlenecked at any point. So furnace operator. Is that the only related skill? Yeah, I think it is, right? And we did actually have a dedicated furnace operator. Someone came in with the skill of furnace operating. So let's have 2 of them. Hell, 3 of them. Y'all gonna work the furnace? Okay, cool. And I'm locking them from other tasks, so all they really do is smelt. So, mush! Or something. Thank you for tuning in to Dwarf Fortress, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but I'm not looking for advice, tips, or feedback, as stated in the description of this video. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhodamont.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow dwarves.